Hey folks, it's time for TWiP Pro Photo Critique number 170. This is TWiP. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the TWiP Pro Photo Critique. This is critique number 170. Can you believe it? We've done 170 photo critiques with my buddy here for the most part. Troy, I think you've only missed one or two of them throughout that whole span, man. How do you feel? 170. How do you feel about this?
It's going on like 4 years, right? Or a little over 3 years. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
We started this before COVID, right? We started before.
Yeah. The world, we call it the before world, right? Before all the insanity.
BC.
Oh, yeah, BC. Oh, man. But this week, the topic you picked was album art or album cover. We've got a few submissions, not a lot. Why do you think the TWiP community is not participating in some of these critiques, and some of them they go out all gangbusters? I thought this one was going to be a really popular one because everyone likes music, and and everyone in our community is a photographer. So chocolate, peanut butter, Reese's, but not so much.
I don't know. I think that it's easier for people to lean into the things that they do all the time normally. Yeah. I kind of thought that the album art would be that, and they would just put it in a square format with a title, right? But we only got a few, so
only
I don't know.
Right? Strangely, only a few.
Yeah.
So
the next one, the next topic, I think is gonna be pretty heavy. So
well, go ahead and share it since you already brought it up. What's next week?
So in sort of like in honor of my new iPhone 13, and we were hanging out at Coleman's playing with all of our gadgetry. I thought, why not make this a phone or a mobile submission only, right? So captured on the phone, edited on the phone. You can upload it via the web or, from your computer, because that makes Mighty happy. And it needs to be something current, not like the last week, but call it the last 30 days, 45 days or something. Yeah.
I love it. I'm in on that one. All mobile. So shot on mobile, edited on mobile. You can upload, because if you guys didn't know, there's a Mighty Networks mobile app for Android and iPhone. So you could edit it and upload it mobile, but if you don't want to do that, you could, jump in and do it on the web UI.
Right.
And for post-processing, there's a ton of apps out there for both platforms for post-processing, including Lightroom, if you want to go that way. But one that I love that's free is called Snapseed. If you haven't heard of it, it was acquired by Google a couple of years ago, and Google has continued to invest in it and keep it up. And it is an app that I feel like should have a price tag on it, but because Google has more money than most small countries, it's free. So it's called Snapseed. It's for both platforms. So go grab that and play around with it. I think you will be surprised. Maybe watch a tutorial or two on it on YouTube, so you kind of get your bearings and how the app operates. But I think you'll be surprised if you haven't played with it yet. Right, Troy?
Right. Oh yeah. It's fantastic. So yeah, use that mobile phone, figure out some of the cool stuff that it can do. Panos, long exposures, smoothing and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of cool tricks in there. So this will hopefully give you an opportunity to really dive into that phone and put it to some good use. Macro on the new iPhone.
Whatever, you and your macro lens. It's ridiculous. So just so you know, Troy Miller, on the heels of our in real life mixer and you showing that phone, I was on the fence about buying that phone. I have the phone because I have the 12 Pro Max 512 already, right? So I'm like, maybe I'll wait a while. And you got me with that macro lens. I ordered it that night. So I don't have a 13 yet, but I will have one in a couple weeks. So
admittedly, we don't need much of a push to get tech. So tech. So yeah.
No, you and Margie pushed me over the edge too, because she's like, you kind of need that because you're starting to do more mobile stuff on TWiP and all that. And she was basically preaching to the choir. I was like, yeah, confirmation bias. Thank you. Confirm my purchase.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
And then
yeah,
there's
I'm getting
always
that.
retail therapy, right? There's always the retail therapy aspect of it. Like, yes,
Yeah. I mean, I don't do a whole lot of crazy stuff. Every now and then, once a year, I get to splurge on a new phone. You know, I haven't bought a new camera in forever. So this is where that money goes. And why not?
hopefully soon, new camera for
Hopefully soon.
Frederick.
We were talking about well, no, I can't tell you. I can't. I'm not gonna tell you yet. There's some changes coming. Wait, can I zoom out a little bit on my lens here? Wait, yeah, there you go. There might be some changes coming to that pile of gear. That pile of gear back there. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm still in the I don't know. I'm still in love with this stuff, so it's kind of changing the landscape a little bit of how I think about photography in some ways. And by the way, I told you I ordered my iPad mini, so that little guy is coming too. And because you know I like minimalist and kind of scaling down, you know. So we'll see. Full report later on This Week in Photo for all of you folks that are interested in any of that stuff. All right, let's dive in. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. Here we are in the critique area of TWiP Pro. If you are not a member of TWiP and you would like to become one to participate in these photo critiques, just head over to members.thisweekinphoto.com and you'll be able to join us. So Troy, this first one's from you. I think you just stuck this one in there because you were feeling sorry for me because we didn't have a ton of submissions. So let's look at yours first. Tell us the story of this lightning shot from Troy Miller.
Yeah, I was out doing some, this was from a few years ago, but I was out chasing some storms out in Arizona. And this was shot way off in the distance with a 200 millimeter and a lightning trigger. And it's one of the only lightning shots that I've had in a long time. And it's all in camera. Like I literally captured all 3 bolts in camera and I went, oh, that's it. I'm done.
Wait. You captured all 3 bolts in camera simultaneously, or did you capture them at separate times and then composite them together?
Single frame.
Single frame. Wow.
I know. That's why I said I'm done chasing lightning. I'm done. I got that.
Look at that. Oh, man, I'd have been worried. You holding a piece of metal out right there. It could have been a 4th bolt kind of closer to you, right?
Yeah, I'm very far away. This is cropped probably 50%. I was shooting with a 200 millimeter. We were up on a ridge shooting down across the valley at this coming storm. And I literally saw the lights on the horizon. I thought, oh, well, I hope lightning happens there. And I set up the trigger and went on to set up another camera, and it just fired. And I got back and went, wow. So we were dry and far away, which is the way I prefer chasing lightning. Yeah.
You don't. The thing that you want to avoid is the smell of burning flesh. You don't want to have that. It could be bad. Like, is somebody cooking bacon? What is that smell? I don't know.
Although I would like to find legitimate fulgurite. I would like to be able to dig that up and say I found it and hunted it down. So,
and what is that? That's the point where the lightning touches the ground and turns it to glass.
It turns it to glass, or sort of melts or emulsifies whatever contents there. Yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be cool. Cool shot, man. Really cool. I like the strata of those hills going off into the distance. It kind of reminds me of like an old Japanese painting, with the different layers of mountains going back in the distance. And then when I look at the lightning, I think Asgard. There's Thor up there summoning the lightning or something. This is really cool. Yeah, really cool.
It was, if you've ever been out chasing lightning, and I just, say to anybody that's shooting is, composition and cropping and try to get that form factor is really difficult. I mean, if I'm critiquing my own image, I wish I had more space on the sides and maybe a little bit more mass around it to make it feel bigger. But I couldn't see anything that's in this frame except for the little lights of the little town or whatever that is.
Oh, these down here? Yeah.
Yeah, you can only see when the lightning goes off. It was pitch black. And then
how long you were on bulb, I'm assuming, right? How long do you recall how long your shutter was open?
You leave the shutter open for approximately 2 minutes.
Okay.
Or no, not 2 minutes. That's way too long. I want to say it was 4 seconds. 4 seconds, 20 seconds. It's been a long time. 20 seconds. It's at least 20 seconds because it's the trigger is fired by the pre-flash of the lightning. So lightning releases an infrared pulse before we actually see the visual lightning. That triggers the lightning trigger, and then the trigger opens. You want to keep it open for 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Then the lightning happens. That's why you got probably multiple strikes in there because the shutter was open.
Nice.
But it fires on its own. Yeah.
So you're essentially painting with light here, for FYI for folks.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
Painting with lightning.
Painting with lightning. Yes.
That's a book title. There you go, or an article title at the least. Cool job, man. All right, coming up next is Mr. Jim Peters, A Little Cool Jazz. All right.
I like that.
Okay, I don't know. Is Mighty compressing the heck out of this? Because I'm losing a lot of dark. I get a lot of darkness down here at the bottom of the image. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, it's pretty empty right there. But that could be intentional, but not necessarily a bad thing if you're going to throw text in there or something.
That's right. Remember, album cover, album art is the topic of this, right?
Yeah, and now, really, I mean, if you go to Spotify and you go through the album art, you really don't see the names or any text on a lot of the album art. It's just literally art that references for the song. But you could definitely get away with that, here.
Yeah. Yep. So should he have done that? Should he have done? I'm thinking, if that's left intentionally blank for text, I want to see some text in there.
True. Yeah, I think that would be great. I love the silhouette of the building, and I love all of that sort of upper 2/3 is definitely super fun. I love the fact that there's a sign over in the sunset area on the left that we can actually see the words, from whatever that little sign is and stuff. And then the house in the lower right-hand corner is just barely peeking out of the darkness.
Yep.
Very moodful. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Jazz would fit this really well.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I love that gradient. I love the color, the sky gradient, kind of the blue purple down into fire orange. I really like that. And then the house down here is, of course, pulling and balancing off of that. So we're seeing that. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think photographically, though, and of course, with album art, you can do whatever you want with it. But I think photographically, you're getting some halos in the sunset area around the buildings, which means that has been pushed pretty far. So just be aware of that if you want that or not. And I would probably try to open up the shadows a little bit, kind of what Frederick mentioned earlier, because I kind of want to see into the buildings just a little bit more.
Yeah. That's the thing, because you get lost in this pit of darkness down here, and you find yourself kind of looking closer, like, what's in there? Clearly, it's important because it's taking up so many pixels. So why should I be looking in there?
Right. Good point. Yeah, if it's going to take up that many pixels on your frame, then what's it saying?
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, you spend a lot of pixel money on that space for it to not be working for you.
Oh my God, I'm writing that down right now.
Pixel money.
That is awesome. I don't know how we use that, but I love that. Pixel money.
Yeah.
Hey, true. We'll start a new crypto.
Hey, yeah, there you go. Because we need another one, all right?
Yeah.
Let's see. What did he say? Could not figure out a nice format for the two album cover, and it needed both sizes, not square. So let's take a look at this one too.
Oh, I see what he did.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, so this is literally for an album cover. This would be the fold in the middle, right?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. For like a legit album, like a big LP album. Yeah.
It makes more sense like this. I like it pano because now, and then again, if there's text at the bottom across the spine or across the bottom half of the image, it starts making more sense.
Yeah, so for me, if you weren't going to be using that foreground, that dark foreground, I would try to show more sky, right? Like really give me the city landscape and the silhouettes of the buildings, and then just a lot of sky.
Yeah, and then that becomes your area for text, right?
Right. Right.
Yep.
And I gotta say, I really love that little building in the lower right hand corner that's lit up. I wish that was actually, we had more around it. It's just like that little secret spooky house that's sticking out of the darkness, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. I like it. Yeah, this one's kind of mysterious too in the front middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little porch light on. Is that a person
Yeah.
standing there? I don't know. Is that the candy man in there? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. You always go there.
Hey, why not? That's where my brain lives, man. All right. Next shot up is from Nora Zanotness, Alone in the Universe. Let's take a look at this one. Remember album art. This could definitely be album art or a CD cover or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That is gorgeous. That is a gorgeous shot. And right away, the title makes perfect sense. I think, photographically, my only challenge is that you've got that little fishtail shape in the top left corner that I think is breaking the edge of the frame for me, that I would like to see that not there.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, just right up here, this piece right here.
Yeah, it just kind of bums me out that it's there, but other than that, this is just gorgeous. So,
yeah,
this is amazing and good title.
And the colors too, because I was looking at this and I was thinking Troy's going to say something about this should be black and white, but I like the blue tone. It's already monochromatic, right? So kind of shades of bluish in there and whites, and I like that because the bluish makes it feel colder and lets you feel what you're looking at a little more. If it was black and white, it would still be effective, but it wouldn't kind of transmit that feeling of frigid temperatures.
No, I agree. And this is the kind of image that taking it monochromatic and then playing with color toning can sometimes emphasize certain moods even stronger than what you get leaving it color, because you could really put more of a blue and darker blue tone into the shadows and a lighter blue tone into the highlights. You have a little bit more control.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it needs it. I'm just saying, like, this is one of those things that you could really sort of take that mood and go highlight. I mean, go warm or go cold or go, off color.
What do you think, like if you're going to look at this, what genre of music comes to mind when you look at a photo? You look at this photo.
All the photos I look at sound like EDM to me right now. So to
boots
be
and
fair,
pants and boots and pants and boots and pants.
Yeah. But that's a beautiful thing about album art. Like, it could be anything. I have some playlists that I've been stocking from Renee Robin, and there's a Nordic playlist that she has in there. I think something like this would fit really well with that.
Yeah. Really cool. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Very moodful. This is beautiful. Like, I hope that this is printed or there's a series or something. This is great.
Like we used to say, this one wants to be big, right?
It does. And it's so unique in the sense that we know it's from the air. We know that those are clouds. We know those are probably big monster mountains. Or it's a sculpture somebody made on their table in their living room. But it's just so unique. The perspective is fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Good job, Nora. Love it. Look at that. I mean, even this ridge here, it just looks so uniform. It's almost unnatural, but we know it's natural. Really cool.
Right. We know because we know. Not because we were there.
Hey, this could be you remember KPT Bryce back in the day? Did you ever play with that? Yeah. Bryce used to do things like this. Sound off in the comments if you remember KPT Bryce and Kai's Power Tools. Joseph, did you know Photo Joseph used to work there? He used to work at Meta Creations.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's great.
He used to hang out with Kai Kraus, the Steve Jobs of the creative industry.
That's great.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Armando Brook. He says, my photo for a music album cover and the music in What a Wonderful World. Okay. Oh, now that song's in my head. Thanks, Armando. I gotta bust out my Louis Armstrong in a second.
There you go. Nice. Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, this is really fun. This is great.
This feels like one of those photos that would be like a billboard. right? Just a giant billboard on the side of the road, or in like some business where they printed this giant and covered the entire wall of a hallway with this shot. It looks like it wants to be big for some reason. I think because of the boldness of the colors, maybe the expressions of the kids, something. It makes me feel like it wants to be big. I know you're gonna say. Can I channel what you might say?
Do you now? Okay. Yep. Let's do it. Let's see.
Let's see. If I get two things, you're gonna say a couple things, but I'm gonna try to get two of them.
Okay.
One, you could see some compression artifacts in these areas of blue sky on the left and right. Second, you're also going to say you like the rainbow in there. I think you're going to say that. You're going to say that you don't like heads being cut off because you don't like photos to amputate people or otherwise, lobotomize them, right? So you don't like that. So did I get any of that right? Any of those?
Yes, but I wasn't going to really mention those because I can't get past the fact that the arm that's going over the kid camera left is not connected to the boy in the middle.
Holy crap, I didn't even notice that. Right here, right? Where are the arms? Right?
Yeah.
So this guy's arm could be down here and kind of coming up. This guy's arm clearly needs to be like right here or something. Or this is oh yeah. Is that? Wait a minute. Yeah, because it needs to mirror this side, right? So clearly the shoulder needs to be about the same height as this side over here. Wow. Right. Yeah, I didn't even notice it. How did I miss that?
Isn't that crazy? And then if you look in between the boys, in between their bodies, it's a different background than the actual background. That should be trees. Like let's say they're standing on a cliff, right? And that city's behind them.
Yeah.
So
I was pulled into the expression of the kids and didn't even look. I didn't even look to see that. Wow. Yeah.
Sorry.
So what would you?
I just.
No, go ahead.
I just see that. I mean, that stuff, it just pops out to me. And there's quite a few little Photoshop artifacts near the kids' heads and some fuzziness on the center boy's camera right above his ear. There's some cloning things that I can see happening in there. So
yeah. Wow. Okay. Good. I'm off my game today. I didn't even notice that. It's amazing.
This really speaks to an image and what draws you into an image and what you're willing to forgive in the image, right? And I think that's important. I think that's really powerful to realize that images don't have to necessarily be technically perfect all the time to tell an amazing story, right? Yeah. A little grain or a little out of focus or a little compositional wackiness. It's like, that's fine. The boy needs his arm though.
The boy needs an arm. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Wow. Okay. Well, good catch, Troy Miller.
Well, I do try, ever since I was judging a state competition and there were camels walking on the ridge of this sand dune, and I failed to notice one of the camels didn't have a shadow. And
really,
one of the other judges challenged it, and of course, me and the other two judges are like, how did we not see that one of the camels had no shadow?
Hey, if you're gonna composite, you gotta. I mean, that's the key thing right there, shadows. But the other key thing to keep in mind is appendages and not to remove. Don't remove arms. That is so weird though that I didn't even notice that. So Armando, you got to tell us what. So maybe we're missing it because I'm looking here like his arm could kind of go back up there, but maybe not. Yeah, it needs to be up here. It needs to be right there. Yeah. Okay. All right, Armando. You got me. Nice. All right. Last but not least here, I think this is last. I'll reload to make sure we didn't miss anyone. Peter Levshin says, album cover, some local your guys that I did a shot for having some success. They play very good rock and roll. You never know. Someday they might be famous. Then I can sell this image for $100. Yep, sounds like Peter. All right, let's bring that up. I like this one. I mean, as you can tell by the color scheme on This Week in Photo, and a lot of my clothes, I like the color black, and I like crimson and red, and I especially like them together. And I even like the flavor cinnamon. So I don't know what it is about the combination, but I like it. So this one instantly, looks great to me. What do you think?
I like this image a lot. I really do. There's one of the things about this that I really enjoy is one, we've got the pose, the band members are there. I probably would have posed like the front left guitar player a little bit differently. Like I would have had the neck of that guitar going off to his right, camera left. So little posing things I might have done differently, but overall, I love that. But I dig the fact that they're in this studio where there's like a supermodel in the background being photographed, and the photographer looks like he's chimping his camera,
Yep.
And I would title this 12:15 is what I would title this image.
Why?
Because the clock on the wall is 12:15.
Oh, look at you and your detail again. Look at that.
And I just love those little tiny Easter eggs in an image. So if you have an opportunity to set up a shoot and you have an opportunity to build it, right? Like in this situation, think about what's in the background. Think about what that little hook is that somebody's going to look at and go, oh, that's so cool. There's an old BMX bike leaning over in the corner, or, whatever thing that you might be able to put in there. So there's a bathtub with ducks in it, whatever.
Yeah. Troy Miller is on a creative roll right now, ladies and gentlemen. So your creativity is definitely coming out. I love it. This is cool. This has got to be one of my favorite shots. I like this shot a lot.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah.
All right. Peter Levshin. And let's see. I think that's it. Yeah, that was from last week. So I'm going to check, see if anybody else has uploaded anything while we've been recording.
By the way, I like Nora's new headshot. I don't know if you noticed that in there when you looked at the numbers.
Oh, it's a person now. Look at that.
Yay.
Nora has been like an abstract pattern forever. Now she's a real person. Welcome, Nora.
I love it.
Good to see you, Nora. I'm going to reload this, make sure we didn't miss anyone before we end this.
Yeah, I just did as well. I don't see anything in there.
All right. And what we do is we sort this by, date created. Yeah, that's it. That's cool. Yeah. All right. So shall we pick a favorite? What do you think?
We shall. I think maybe you and I are going to agree on Peter's image.
Yes.
I think that's pretty solid.
That one.
And some of it, I mean, a lot of it for me is there's a lot of depth. There's like 3 or 4 layers of interest going on in here, from the shadows. I want to see what's going on in the shadows, to the drama in their faces and the casualness. And then, there's a supermodel in the background, just, kind of hanging out in there. And then that little sliver over on the left with the clock and like this little white cove. And there's so much stuff going on in there. I'm like, okay, this is totally like an album cover, like a band shoot or something. So
no, for sure. Yeah, I saw this. What did I think of? What band did I think of? The White Stripes. I was thinking of the White Stripes.
I was thinking back further, like Warrant, or like
the hair bands. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the Ramones, maybe the early Ramones.
The Ramones, yeah, definitely in that. I wonder. Yeah, I'm gonna guess that's a similar genre to what these folks play here. Yeah, interesting.
Maybe
cool.
Peter can give us some more info.
Congratulations, Peter Levshin. You are this week's favorite. Good job. Well deserved. Next week, as Troy mentioned, will be our mobile episode. So all mobile. You must shoot your image on mobile, your phone or your tablet, but it must be shot on a mobile device, not a traditional camera, and it must be edited and processed on a device, mobile or phone as well. If you don't have software, get Snapseed, and that will help you edit, or use Lightroom if you got the Creative Cloud, whatever. But do it all mobile, right? Any guidance for that?
Frederick and I will be participating in this one, as well.
I will.
So,
Absolutely. I have shots now I can share. I am absolutely
you got to create a new one, though.
I know. I will. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to create a shot specifically for this. I'm not sure what I want to do. You know what? We were talking about before we started recording here. Troy was, and I think you had shown Stephen Scharf, who's also in the community, this trick. But if you didn't know, if you're shooting with an iPhone and you're shooting in live picture mode, you can switch that live picture into a long exposure, and it will do, essentially, it will take a series of frames and merge them together to create a long exposure. And it works great for things like flowing water, to get that flowing water effect, all kinds of things you can do. I think if you guys lean into this challenge, you will be pleasantly surprised at what you can do with both the camera that you have in your phone as well as the software that's available to let you do all manner of crazy things. So it's interesting.
Right.
I wish the traditional market, like mirrorless cameras, would be moving in the direction of where phones are with computational photography and an application ecosystem. Wouldn't that be amazing? You know? But
oh my gosh. That's a whole nother discussion that just like, hello, why aren't you guys doing this? It's so obvious.
Yeah.
So
they're like, we're setting the table for Apple so that they can eat our lunch eventually when they release a Pro.
Yes,
Apple's
that's
like,
what it is.
Apple's like, keep releasing those beautiful lenses, and we're gonna make a device with a mount for your camera to go on the front of it, and we're gonna give them our computational photography and our application ecosystem. How about that?
Yeah. I think Apple's just showing off, like, oh, you need hardware to do that? Pfft, we're just gonna do it all with software, and you're not gonna know the difference.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine that the seismic shift that would hit the world though if Apple said, "Hey, we're releasing a prosumer quick take camera that leverages all of our artificial intelligence, computational photography, and all that learning, and we're releasing a brand new app store for all this stuff," and they throw a couple $100 million at it, right? And we are releasing a series of mounts for these devices from Nikon, Panasonic, Canon, Fuji, so you can use your existing lenses with this ecosystem, folks. Come on in, and we're gonna, give it to you for cheap. That would, yeah. Would you buy that as a professional wedding shooter?
Yesterday. I'll back the Kickstarter right now.
Yeah, because Apple needs a Kickstarter with what 2.3 trillion in the bank, right?
Just to put a finer point on it, is photography needs to innovate, and the traditional market, the traditional DSLR to mirrorless, that's not innovating, right? That's just the sort of intermediate change. Software combined with the hardware, that's where innovation's going. It's time for the industry to innovate, right? Film to digital to software. Let's go. I'm ready right now. Truer
words were never spoken, Troy Miller. Excellent. All right, well, we'll leave it right there, folks. Once again, congratulations to Peter Levshin for sharing this fantastic shot. Please congratulate him in the community if you're a member. And if you are not a member, like I said, you can become one. Just head over to members.thisweekinphoto.com and you can sign up and join us for all manner of cool photography stuff, including conversations and interactions with people that like the stuff that you like. All right, final words, Troy Miller. Let's leave it right there. What do you got to say for the folks?
Go out and be a good human this week. Well, you should always be a good human, but
just this week. Next week you can go back to being a piece of crap, but this week be a good human.
Thanks for outlining that right there. Yep. And by the way, these don't get edited, so whatever we say, that's what came into our head at the moment. So we're guilty. So
zero editing. Yeah, I'm over here. I'm switching cameras, but that's all we're doing on this side. So it's live. We're working without a net. That's what we do.
Love it.
All right, folks.
Love it.
We'll leave it right there. This was critique number 170. Album art next week is 171. Mobile. Bring it. Let's see what you got. I want to see the community jump in. There's no excuses. Everybody has one of these phones. Everybody can do something. Software is free.
Right.
Just show it. Show us what you can do.
Make it happen.
Show us what you can do.
Yeah,
Make it happen.
yeah.
Troy, maybe you shouldn't participate because you got that 13 and that thing has superpowers. So
Yeah.
listen, you should sit this one out, Mr. I can shoot, hairs on a fly's back with my macro camera.
This is true. I can't win. I can't get featured, but I can show you what I can do with it. So
there you go. Love it. All right, folks, we'll leave it right there. Thanks a lot, Troy. We'll see you.
All right,
next
take
time.
care, man.
This is TWiP.